Still there?
Yep, still there.
But he seems to be the only coach that can win in that building. That might be why Jerry got him, Skip.
I think that's the only reason.
That is true, and we have plenty to get to today. Are all signs pointing to Tom Brady leaving New England? And will it be the Lakers' defense that propels LeBron to another title? Yeah, we're talking about defense, but first, we do have to talk a little bit more about the new coach in Dallas. We are now getting a glimpse into what things will be looking like for the Cowboys under Mike McCarthy. McCarthy is reportedly set to hire current Saints linebackers coach Mike Nolan as his defensive coordinator. On the other side of the ball, McCarthy reportedly likes Cowboys' current offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, and is open to keeping him on staff in some capacity. So, Shannon, how will the McCarthy regime work?
Well, Skip, he's going to have to work like all the other regimes work, under Jerry rules. I mean, that make it seem like Mike McCarthy is going to come in there, Skip, is going to wipe all the walls down, and he's going to be the only voice. He's not going to be the only voice. There's been only one instance, maybe two slightly. And at the end, Parcells even wasn't the only voice. But it was mainly Jimmy. That was it, Skip. I mean, they make it seem like Mike McCarthy, oh, Mike's going to clean this up. No, he's not.
Yep.
Jerry's made it abundantly clear. This is my team. I pay the bills. I'm going to have a say. I'm going to speak. I'm going to talk. I'm going to do what I want to do. So I don't know where they get this notion from all of a sudden Jerry's going to change because he's hired a different coach. Skip, look, I do believe this is a good hiring. I'm not saying great. It's a solid. It's not splash. He's old, but he's not old in the sense of years. But I'm saying people know Mike McCarthy. He was the head coach of the Packers for 13 years.
Sure.
Yep.
He has a nice resume. He's won a Super Bowl. He's gone to playoffs. He has multiple double-digit win seasons, Skip. He's won rounds in the playoffs. So that's instant credibility right there. No matter if you're a coach or a player, Skip, if you have that Super Bowl ring, you come with instant credibility. He brings that into the locker room.
Okay.
So he's a different voice, and maybe that's what they need, Skip. Maybe after 9 years or 10 years of Jason Garrett, it had grown stagnant. I know it grown stagnant with you. It grown stagnant with you after like 2 or 3 years. You'll hate himself. Yeah. But anyway.
My objective.
The biggest task that I believe Mike McCarthy has before him, Skip, is he's got to convince the Cowboys that your reputation doesn't win you ball games. When Mike Shanahan, when he first came, he was offensive coordinator for 49ers, Skip, in 94. They won the Super Bowl. He came to us and we got 95. And he said the very first meeting, guys, I expect us to win games. Not because of who we are, but because of how we prepare. Because of how we do things. And from that point on, Skip, it wasn't like, well, you know, if the defense can hold them to 17 and we get a break here, we get a break there, we could win the ball game. We took the field every single week. We didn't win every week, but we expected to win. The Cowboys need to have that level. Skip, you can't, we're the Cowboys. No, that's not good enough. You don't get to roll the ball like this and say, we the Cowboys, we're going to win. But he has to change the mentality. Even Jerry. Jerry thinks, Skip, we got a lot of talent. Everybody's talented. Do you realize everybody in this league is talented? Now, some teams have a little more than others, but every team is talented. But you don't play your best football, Jerry. You found that out this year. You go 8-8. So Mike McCarthy has his hands full, Skip. First of all, changing the mentality in that locker room and then dealing with Jerry. How does he deal with Jerry? Because it's easy to say, Skip, oh, I'm going to just tune him out. But how do you tune him out, Skip, when you're talking to the team after the game and the media scrum outside is talking to Jerry outside of the locker room and he's talking louder than you're talking inside of the dressing room?
Is that all?
That's all.
Thank you. I want to make it clear. I still love my football team the way I've loved it since I was 10 years old and went to my first game in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
But I'm right where I was 24 hours ago when we got hit out of the blue with the Jay Glazer report that Mike McCarthy had been hired as the next head coach of my Dallas Cowboys. And what was my first reaction to you? It's not bad. That is classic damning with faint praise. That's what you call that. It's not bad. And then a little later yesterday, I heard that predictably Mike McCarthy had hired his old friend and longtime defensive coordinator, Mike Nolan to be the next Cowboy defensive
Well,
coordinator.
Mike Nolan was the head coach when Mike McCarthy was offensive coordinator at 49ers. when they took Alex Smith.
He owed him a favor,
Okay.
and he just returned the favor.
Yeah.
And what was my reaction in the afternoon to that? Not bad.
Yeah.
Damning with faint praise. So, I told you yesterday, this football team needed a shake-it-up move. It needed a splash. It needed a wow. It needed somebody who could come in and light a fire under a soft, underachieving 8-8 football team. It needed your idea of Sean Payton. I said, why not bring Bill Cowher out of retirement? How about, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in New England? How about Bill Belichick? How about the guy who still works here named Urban Meyer, who could be could have been Jerry Jones's next Jimmy Johnson? Mm-hmm. It's high risk, but it could be the highest reward. Right. I love Urban Meyer. He did nothing but incredible things at Utah and at Florida and at Ohio State. And who knows what he might do if you handed him over a talented pro football team. He would light a fire. It would be a new sense of urgency. He would go in there and change the culture. Mm-hmm. Instead, here I go with a Mike McCarthy who, frankly, makes Jason Garrett look like a dynamic motivator. His personality is far less than Jason Garrett's was. Am I right?
Yeah.
He's kind of a zero as a personality, right? And the harder I look at what he did in Green Bay, when Aaron Rodgers was as great as you said that Aaron Rodgers used to be, when he was great, Mike McCarthy was pretty good.
So he went along for a great ride with him.
He did. And when Aaron Rodgers began to clearly decline over the last 4 years, Mike McCarthy looked more and more ordinary to me. He looked like some guy who played tight end at something called Baker College in rural Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
And came out of nowhere to this. And now I look at, wait a second, over the last 4 years that he was the head coach in Green Bay, his team was 17th in the NFL in yards gained and 14th in points scored. Is that great? Is that going to change life in Dallas? We didn't need to fix the offense. We needed to fix the culture and the defense.
Right.
So now I look back today at the Bleacher Report story. Remember the expose of last April about why did Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy fall apart and Mike McCarthy got fired? Reason number one was, and I'm going to quote the article, his scheme went stale and he did not adapt. Yikes, really, okay? And one personnel man said that Mike McCarthy got, quote unquote, full of his own juice, like he started to really feel himself, and that he checked out and that he lost his enthusiasm to the point that during Saturday walkthroughs in his last season, he was getting a massage. Yeah. He sneaked upstairs to his office and sneaked the masseuse up the back stairs to his office, and he got himself a massage. And the article says, Aaron Rodgers not pleased with that. And I don't blame him for that one, right?
I mean, I like a good massage too, but not at work.
Not at work.
Oh, thank you.
Not on Saturday before one of 16. No. And this is the worst of all. The article says that when McCarthy was first hired by Ted Thompson, the former GM of the Packers, that he was called Pittsburgh Macho. Mike McCarthy grew up in Pittsburgh. But there's another counter quote from a personnel director who says the truth is that Mike McCarthy is a fake tough guy.
Oh!
Fake tough guy. And there's quote after quote in the Bleacher Report article from players inside, from